Hello and welcome to Comics with Stevie D, my third annual Halloween special. And Comics with Stevie D presents number 3 special 2025, The Frankenstein Follies. Okay, now what I'm going to do is show a series of comic books with Frankenstein on the cover to start, and then I'm going to go into some other spooky books. This first one has Frankenstein Dracula battling Superman. This is Superman 344. And this next one is Frankenstein Shade number 2, which is a cool comic book because it has all the other monsters coming out of the top of his lid. And you can't mention Frankenstein without mentioning Herman Monster from the Munsters. I love that show. It was great. They used the costumes from the studio. And then here is a really spooky one. Frankenstooge. Look at that. And this one is a strange one. Smith Brown Jones Alien Accountant Halloween Special. And it has Frankenstein featured predominantly on the cover, along with some other spooky guys. Here's a modern one I just got. Frankenstein Monsters. And I really like this one because it's showing the sensitive side of Frankenstein. And the next one reminds me of Frankenstein. It's a Hulk. It's Hulk 294. Look at that. That is a fearsome face. All right. Now I'm going to show a couple of spooky ones. This is Lenore. And on the other side, another Lenore. Here's a Ghost Rider from way back in the past riding a flaming mastodon. That's pretty spooky right there. And here is a creature from the Black Lagoon. One of those universal monsters. The Frankenstein I showed was also. I got a couple of those in my collection. And now I'm going to show a piece of art I drew. And there is Dracula. And this lady's in a time warp. Kind of spooky. Alright, let me put the page and I'm going the wrong way. Here's Bruise Cruise Halloween. And here is Alien. This is a spooky cover, I think. If I get the glare off of it. That is a spooky cover. Now, here is my kind of creature from the Black Lagoon kind of look. And here is a Frankenstein where he's in trouble in this one. Everybody and his brothers hanging out. A black widow, a scorpion, a rattlesnake, a dragon. Everybody's climbing up on old Frankie. Yep. And here's a spooky one. I've shown this a couple of times, but it's so spooky you gotta keep showing it. Batman. Look at that one. Well, now I'm into superheroes. Here's Spider-Man crawling out of the grave with, I think, Gwen Stacy. Yep. Yeah, kind of a zombie kind of cover comic. I read it. It was pretty good. Here is Do You Dare to Enter the House of Mystery number 232. That is a spooky cover. All right. And we've had Frankenstein and Dracula. Now we got a werewolf coming. I like the neon cover on this one. Okay. Here's a mummy. That is kind of spooky. Here's my favorite drawing of Frankenstein I've done so far. He's out on a midnight stroll in the beauty of nature with a howling werewolf in the background and a vampire bat hanging from the tree. And he's so peaceful in this one. A peaceful Frankenstein. Can you believe it? Now, if you like these kind of Halloween specials, my episode 35 and 36 and 95 were my other two Halloween specials, if you want to check those out. And one of them I did in rhyme. All right, back to the comic books. Hollywood Zombie Apocalypse. They got the zombies going now. And here's a freaky one. Blastorusus. And here's another Hollywood Zombie Apocalypse. I like that one. Okay. And then we got Dracula. The Tomb of Dracula, number 60. At 30 Center from back in the day when I was a kid. All right. Let's see if I got another spooky drawing in here. Nope, I think that's the end of the spooky drawings. Now, we got Youngblood Strike Fire. Look at that. That is a monstrous looking monster. Now, House of Whispers. Look at the eyes on that. Those are spooky, mysterious eyes. And then the house. A shack with trees growing out of it. Look at that. And there's the Book of Magic, Sandman. Look at the arms on that chick. Here's Conan the Barbarian battling a demon. This is number 5 from 1979. Death Dealer. These look like troglodytes or Neanderthals. I think it's a Frazetta. Yeah. Artwork. Excuse me. Here's another Conan the Barbarian. The thing battling the thing from the tower. Looks like a vampire. And it's a moon cover. I like moon covers. Oh, here's one. Peter Parker, the Vampire. Rawr. Blood Hunters. Number 2, variant edition. Look at that. Them choppers. Look at the choppers on the old Peter. You need to brush your teeth, buddy, if you want to get back with Mary Jane. And here is another Hulk, True Believers, number 1. And he's fighting some kind of demon in here. And MODOK. He's a spooky looking guy. I had to get him. This is an X-Men comic number 22. It's a modern one. But MODOK and the other villains, but MODOK's the spooky one I picked. Look at that face on that guy. And back to Halloween. Sandman, the Dreaming. And it's a pumpkin man, a pumpkin thing with some kind of creature in his arms. I can't tell what it is, but it's some kind of creature. And that guy, he looks normal, but if you look at him close, he's spooky too. And here's another Dreaming with a morphing elephant into a monstrous thing, and there is it again. I don't have many Lobos, but this one, he's sitting in a sea of skulls. He looks quite at home there. Old You know, he looks quite at home. Kind of looks on his knee. If you look at it quickly, it reminds you of Captain America. I wonder if that's an homage from DC to Marvel. Marvel Superheroes Contest of Champions. I got a skull cover. Look at that. All the heroes. But that skull is what I picked. Why I picked this one out for my Halloween special. And here's an oldie but a goodie. Werewolf by Night, number 9, 20 center. This is when I was buying comics the first time in the mid 70s, 74, 75, around that time. And here's another House of Mystery. It reminds me of the Ali Superman fight, but whoever this boxer is, he's fighting that thing. And that's a spooky. And in the audience, they're not like in the Ali book. They're kind of gruesome too. And that's House of Mystery, number 281. And my last one is my favorite storytelling. Do You Dare Enter the House of Mystery? It's a 15 center, 190. And look at that. That's a perfect cover because it tells the story. These kids are sneaking up on the witch's mansion, but the witch is sneaking up on the kids. And she's kind of got a clue, but the rest of them are clueless. So that is a cool cover. So you have just watched Comics with Stevie D, Halloween Special number 3, 2025, The Frankinstin Follies. Happy Halloween. Take care. Enjoy your Halloween holiday.